Hi, it's Tamika Chambers, and happy Monday to you. I know that's something that we often don't hear, but it's another day. I consider Monday another day to set forth in living the highest version of yourself spiritually. And so I wanted to pop in as I've been sharing those barriers that often lead us to deterring from our purpose, deterring from our life's meaning, that our life has meaning, that we're here for divine reasons, that we have unique gifts and talents that are inside of us. And number three, I believe those unique talents that we have, those gifts that we have, are by the way that we're supposed to make our living on earth. Whatever it may be that you do, that you love, that you feel so much peace, so much energy, vibrant energy, you feel like, man, if I could do this and get paid for it, that would be great. But often we think, oh, this is just a hobby. This is something that I could just make a little money on the side, $300, $400, whatever it may be. This isn't the real job, the real thing. And I'm going to share a little story with you, one that permeates many of our consciousness when we think about it. And so just kind of, I wanted you to see the little light behind me because I love light. But I wanted to share a story with you. So I was probably around, I would probably say about 6 years old. And my mother had bought me this pink flowery lace dress. I love that dress. If I could wear it every day, I would. I love that dress and putting on, and I felt so good in it, right? So beautiful. It was just flowers and the little green leaves. And I'm prancing down to the bus stop, walking to the bus stop, feeling good about myself. We had a presentation that day. We were going to be in the gym, and I was just going to be sitting with my pink dress on. And lo and behold, a person came out that was in the same class as myself. And she laughed at me and said, "Why are you wearing that? We're going to be sitting on the floor. You don't need to wear that." And she always pretty much wore jeans and a shirt, kind of casual kind of stuff, And I started bawling. I ran home, right? I ran home just down the street, right down the street. So I turned around and I ran home. And my mother met me at the door. And she was like, "What's going on? Why are you back here?" And I said, "Mom, I told her what happened. She laughed at me. We're going to be sitting on the floor and I shouldn't have this dress on." And my mom, I don't even think she let me inside. Or she did. It was just a little bit enough to talk to me and told me basically I had the right to wear what I wanted to wear. And when she said that, there was something in me that lit up, that knew she was right. And she said, "You go down there, you're not changing clothes, and you keep on what you have, and you go to school," basically. And I went back down there, and to this day, and I thought about it, because the bus came and picked you up. We were living in Eagle Park, Illinois, Madison County, and the bus came and picked you up, maybe 8:15, 8:30, something like that. And I'm surprised I didn't miss the bus, given what had happened. So when I think about it, I was like, man, I didn't miss that bus, because usually we wouldn't be standing down the bus stop very long. And in my age and what I've gone through, I believe it was divine intervention. It was what I needed, because prior to that, at some point I decided I wanted to be a student of life, that I wanted to be aligned with this higher power that knew the right path, knew what I needed to do in life, knew all the answers, knew what was going to happen, and just had to clue me in, and I had to be aligned with that to really understand and see and hear and think as this universal power did in knowing that it was good, it was out there, and it loved me. So I went, she even told me that no one else would have a dress on, that I was going to be the only one wearing a dress. And so I went to school, and I remember sitting. It's divine intervention is so powerful. You have those impressions on your mind. But I remember sitting on the floor and seeing other people wearing dresses, having dresses on. I remember seeing that, and it just really, I think, allowed my mother's words to concrete in my being and my mind that I choose what I want to wear. I choose. My mother would always tell us, you're in control. You're in control. You have power. You're in control. And so this attitude that was developed early on kept with me, in that, always there, even if there was a little sprinkle of doubt, which I talked about last week, doubt and how we're indecisive. We're caught in between. Should I not? Should I not? We're kind of there. And it taught me that others' opinions are just others' opinions. And that's what I want to talk about today, is that often we have these deep-seated opinions of others that we allow to shut the door on what it is we know deep down in our hearts, that we're here to do. It is the opinion that you should wear what I tell you to wear, or you don't wear what you want to wear. It's the opinion that you can play that instrument for fun, but not for a job, not to make a career, not to do that. And there's so many stuff out there, even the worldly opinion, that not everybody is meant to be a successful musician. Not everyone is meant to be a successful dancer. Not everyone is meant to be a successful coach or teacher or business owner. Who are you to decide who is to be successful or not? If you did not make, and this is for me too, because what I say to you, I say to myself, because when we talk about truth, when we talk about it, when we think about it, we enhance our own being. Because we have these sprinkles of doubts, especially when things aren't going as fast as we want them to do. We have those sprinkles of, maybe they were right. Maybe they are really right about, and I should really just go out and seek a 9-to-5 job and just, work and whatever it may be. Put this on the side and only do that on occasion on the weekend. And that's it, because they don't believe in me. That's what you're saying. When you give into other people's opinions, you're saying they don't believe in me, and what they know is more powerful than what I know and what I feel deep within my soul. And we have to understand that they didn't make me. What they're saying may be the opinions that were seeded into them, because we talked about cultivating your mind. That's one of the manuscripts I have, cultivating your mind, how we can allow these seeds, these little birds that pick up little seeds we plant, they're planted, and they pick them up, and from somewhere else, someone else's garden, your mother's garden, your father's garden, your brother's, your wife's garden, your husband's garden, your best friend garden, whoever it may be, your coworker, your employer, employees, they pick these seeds up from other people's garden and they plant them in your garden. And that could be, and especially if we have doubt about who we are, we're basically feeding those seeds of other people's opinions. We're feeding and nourishing them into ourselves. So not only do we have this doubt that we need to conquer and get rid of, we have the opinions of others, their fears, their doubts, their insecurities, their perceived lack of success, because often we give up because we think we're too old, we're not smart enough like we used to be. And when you think about the Bible, when you think about stories, and how it's not about the religion, but I think about stories, and I think about how who says that you have to be successful in the world's rich, money, wealth, whatever it may be. People know of you at 30, at 40, at 50 or 60. People have been called in their, not, you think about Moses, you think about, Joseph and all the things he went through, being rejected by his brothers and being left in the hole, and being kidnapped and being framed by the wife, and being lied to by others that said, I'm going to help you, I'm going to tell the king about you. Everything that we go through, slander, people put, getting us fired, if you will, putting negative things, slander, putting negative things, or not telling you about a position that is available, not telling you about monies that are available for your business, not telling you about a business, a building that is there for you to buy, people that are withholding information, right? People that are not telling you the truth, maybe thinking of themselves. And that's a whole nother discussion. But you have all these thoughts of others that have accumulated within your mind, and now you don't know what to do. You're afraid, you're doubtful, you are scared to make a move because you don't know if that's going to be the right move, and if it's not the right move and doesn't work out, then you're going to hear that other person say, I told you it was never going to happen, I told you not to do it, right? And so that's their issues they have to deal with. And what we must do is get quiet within ourselves and ask that question: what am I here for? What are my unique gifts and talents? And what is the right way to nourish them, to embody them and nourish them, to express them? Because why are you asking someone who did not make you? Now, I do believe that God uses people to help us, that there is this saying that nobody is your enemy, nobody is your friend, everyone is your teacher. And we have to discern when that information is right. And that's where you go within and say, I'm going to listen to what you say, but I'm not by any chance going to take that seed into my entire being. There is a way that you can separate yourself from that person's opinion and just listen and ask, is that right? And there'll be something deep within. I know deep within, I felt that I'll say, no, that's not right. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. Or I'm going to take that into consideration and I'm just going to do some research on it. And if you find out that it's falling in order of what you're doing, then maybe it is right. But maybe your teacher is the one that is there to show you that you don't need to listen to them, that you need to hold on to this conviction of, I'm going to keep working on this day by day by day. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to make time for it, and I'm going to see where it goes, right? If I had listened to what other people probably said about family and how you can't prepare, and and believing that you're going to end up alone, whatever it may have been, that I went to the north to be with someone that my college sweetheart, and I said to myself that I'd rather go and find out than to sit here and not know. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, all that stuff. I would rather go and do it. And I believe that's where I am with my life, and I hope that you are, is that I would rather do it and see what happens than to sit back and not do it and not know what this gift would have done for me. Because I believe we are here to not suffer, but to have an abundant life. As I've mentioned before, abundance in not just material wealth, but in spiritual wealth, and knowing and resting in assurance that everything is going to work out. Resting in assurance that there is something out there that knows what I'm here for, that knows the correct steps to take, that I can go to have guidance. And even asking for the right people, the right words, the right time, the right place, the right customers, the right clients, the power of prayer, and the power of expectation. That I expect to live a meaningful life, that I expect to follow my heart and the divine wisdom within instead of listening to what other people are thinking and or other people are saying and other people are doing. We have collected so much throughout the years because, I could think of as a child where we put so much power in our elders and help, for them to show us the way and do that. But if they and live our lives, enjoy this life because we're here and we're like, wow, this is life. What can I do? What can I be? How many cars can I have? You start thinking about all this stuff. And then depending on who you grow up around, and many of us are probably had people say, you can't do that. No, you shouldn't do that. You should just get a job here in the city and stay here where we're at and just, work your 9 to 5 and retire and be done. And I believe that we are here to evolve into consciousness, to realize that that's not what life is about. We are here to have hope, have a future. We're here to live life more abundantly. And the sooner we realize that, the sooner we transcend our past, our family history, the sooner we transcend the environment that we grew up in, the sooner we transcend those things that we did in our past that we're not real proud of, smoking, drinking, whatever it may be, that we're not really proud of, we transcend that, and that was the past. Those are the choices I made with that brain that I had, that mindset that I have. Now I have a clearer mindset in that I know my life has meaning and purpose, and that I know I have divine gifts within me. There's something unique that in me that I can do that no one else can do it just like me. Because if I wasn't meant to be here, however long you are here, then I wouldn't be here. But I am here. So that has to mean something. And that meaning is something that is so powerful beyond your wildest dream. That something thought of you, wanted you in the hair, the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the skin color, that wanted you in all the stuff, that wanted you in all your being, and knew what you would go through, fearfully and wonderfully made, but knew inside of you there was these gifts and talents and these experiences that would help intertwine and bring something wonderful, a reflection of who I am, a reflection of the Creator, a reflection of the truth. And so I would always tell people, take things with a grain of salt, even in my nursing career. I would listen to report and I would say, well, that's their experience. I'm going to live my experience. I'm going to take what I believe is right to take, right? And then I'm going to cultivate my own experience right now. And 9 times out of 10, often if someone said that someone was mean or frustrated, I had a whole different experience. And you know why I had a whole different experience? Because the way I went into the experience was probably different from theirs. My perception, my expectation of having a great experience, a good experience, my expectation of just being able to help, my mindset, my intention was to help. And I think because we all are one, that people sense that. They sense when you have that desire to truly help them. There's a change that occurs. There's a frown that turns into a smile. There's a withholding that turns into a giving. Let me share something with you. Let me give you this. Hey, I was holding on to this and here it is. I was going to sell this building for this amount or rent it out, but I'm going to give it to you for a lower price. Things happen when we honor the truth within us. And so I say that with everything that you have gone through, and I wake up, I believe that the answer comes in the morning. And you can ask yourself, what am I holding onto? And be as specific, but it's an open-ended question. What opinions am I holding on to that are preventing me from achieving my purpose, my divine purpose in life? And I believe, I've received answers automatically. I've received answers in a few days, because when you ask that question, you're putting it out there into the universe. And you know that you will be answered. And it's asking, remaining available and open for the answer. Letting it go. Remaining available. That I believe there are no coincidences. I believe that God doesn't do things in vain. What you know how to do, what you take pleasure in, is for a reason. And often our wounds, people projecting their pain on us, is another reason we tend to deter away. And I'll talk about that. But it's right now in other people's opinions, the stereotypes, the labels, whatever culture you belong to, whatever religion you belong to, and how people try to group you together. And we're together in a different light. We're together in a spiritual realm. We are together. But we all have our uniqueness that we are to portray, to express in the world. And I say, take people's opinions with a grain of salt. As your answer comes to you, you will realize what you've been holding on to. You may even hear that person's voice, and it's not to be afraid, but it's the answer that you seek that will help free you. Remember, emotions, feelings are data. They are data you can use to help transform your mind and how you're thinking, so that you can get out of that emotional and mental bondage. And that is when you take others' opinions and make them your own. You put yourself in the bondage that probably has kept them in bondage. You need someone who can say anything is possible, and you do. Anything is possible. And it's the act of faith and belief. Faith, the opposite of fear. Faith is the opposite of many. Faith is the opposite of other people's opinion. It helps to free you. But it is the faith that will keep you looking within instead of looking without for the answers. And so I just hope that this discussion has been beneficial for you, because I know the power of other people's opinions and labels. And I know it can lead you down paths that are unbecoming. They are not you. They are not the definition of you. They do not get to determine the dark alleys and valleys that you go through trying to find yourself. You are the co-creator of your life. You decide what you will take in and what you will give back to the person, so they can take responsibility of their fears and the insecurities, their anxieties, their doubts, whatever it may be. And that you can go on and cultivate those seeds within you that help bring out the best in you. Hope, compassion, forgiveness, love, and many other virtues. You have the right to be you. No one gets to decide who you are, because within you is that blueprint of who you actually are. Go inside and ask, who am I? What am I here for? What opinions have I been holding on to? All right, you guys, so I will be talking to you next Monday about another barrier that I believe often preventing us from living our best lives. And we know when we don't live our best lives, that emotional and mental turmoil tends to come out physically. Heart disease, heart attacks, that are from the center of joy are not just in what we eat and what we do, but it's how we think, our mental, our emotional well-being. I have started my newsletters, Empowering You to Be You, Notes on Life, Empowering You to Be You, that I send out. I will probably start sending that out monthly. I'm just kind of debating on that. And then you can just continue to catch me on other social medias. But here for specifically Fulfill Your Divine Purpose, we're here to empower, to empower you, remind you of who you are, the divinity within you, remind you of your gifts and your talents, reminding you that I don't think they're just a hobby. I think they're a way for you to make a living. And if we all can do that, we all can support one another because our gifts and talents are different in how we do that. Instead of dividing us, we hopefully move to a point where we're supporting humanity, supporting the gifts within each other, sharing our resources, not withholding from people, but really encouraging them to align with the highest version of themselves. I'll talk to you guys soon. You know I can talk. So I'll talk to you guys soon. And as always, make this lifetime great because you still can.